Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be doing a cooking tutorial. This is a very simple meal. Does not involve heavy cooking, more like chopping. I'm going to be doing for today's video is homemade ceviche. It does require some imitation crab, some shrimp, and whatever you desire that you like to put into your ceviche for your veggies. I usually put 2 cucumbers, a few tomatoes, some onions. I cut up some cilantro, and I like to buy this bag of avocados, mini avocados, because I feel like you get a good amount for such an affordable price. I also like to include this cocktail sauce, and sometimes, depending on who eats with me, I would cut up serrano chili peppers, but for today I'm not. So what I'm going to get started with, I am going to be cutting the cucumber. So I'm going to get started. I like to cut it in half. Then I go in and cut it another. So I make it like a fourth, like little pickle slices. And then I just start chopping. So after I cut the cucumber, I like to I get a little messy with it. Doesn't have to be perfect or nothing. I just cut through it like this and make it smaller pieces. I just cut till I start seeing the pieces get smaller and smaller. Not too crazy small, but to where it's not huge chunks either. That's just my desired likings. So now that I'm done, I have this big bowl that I'm putting everything in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it in. Okay, so now that I finished the first cucumber, I'm gonna move on to the second. I'm gonna cut it the same exact way. So once I'm done, I'm gonna move on to the next. So stay tuned. Okay, so now that I am finished cutting up all my cucumbers, I am going to start cutting 1 whole onion. I only like to use 1. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut 1 whole onion into this. So I start with chopping off the ends. I like to dice the onions into very small pieces. I like to make homemade cooked meals. And the other day I posted on my Instagram story, you know, I basically, when I get down in the kitchen, I like to post what I cook. And people do hit me up saying, how come you don't start making some tutorials, especially for some people who don't know how to cook certain things, and always ask for my recipes, what do I use. So you know what, guys, moving forward, whenever I cook, I'm gonna start recording it, posting a video of how to cook what I cook. That way, you know, people can learn. Eating homemade cooked meals is way better than eating out. See, it's like perfectly minced. It's not where it's like super small pieces, but it's not big chunks either, because Lord knows you don't want to be biting into no huge chunk of an onion, because that is nasty. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my tomatoes. I got quite a few tomatoes here. This does give it a nice color as well, on top of flavor. Nothing's perfectly cut. I just think it's easier to cut in circles like this, and then just dice it. So I just showed one example on how I do the tomatoes. Usually I like to cut all of them at once into those little pinwheels look circle, and then I dice them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into that. So look at this. See how this tomato's so red and this is like light? I would rather prefer my tomatoes like this, but the grocery store did not have a big selection of these beautiful red looking tomatoes. So I'm gonna get my crab. Usually what I would like to do is I would grab the piece of crab and shred it with my hand like that. To me, you get way more piece like that and just throw it in the bowl. Speed up this process and do it off camera. But you can cut it, dice it, however you desire. I personally prefer to literally show you what I just did, the shredding part, and it comes out like so. And I feel like you get more than versus dicing it, because it's just not big pieces. I prefer big pieces of crab, haiva. So whatever your desired liking is. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this off camera. I will be right back. Now that I'm done, my bowl is looking like this. Like I said, I personally rather shred it because you get bigger pieces and I prefer it that way. So now that I'm done with that, I wash it, clean them, and I'm going to go ahead and just throw it in. And it's all in. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my avocados, chop up my cilantro. Okay, so now that I cut up all my avocados in half, I don't like to mess them up necessarily too much. So I get a spoon. Mind you, these are so smaller babies, and I just cup them out like that. Get them ready to be cut into small little pieces. Let's go back some more. So I get my spoon. To me, this is the best way to get your avocado out quick and fast and easy. Okay, drop it down like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this to all my avocados and get them ready to be diced into pieces. Okay, so now that I have my cute little avocados all ready to go, I just literally just dice them up. Like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you are able to dice them up nicely to where they're not huge chunks, but not small. Kind of like making my avocado pieces a little bigger than what I normally cut my sizes for my tomatoes and onions, for the fact that I love avocado, and the bigger the piece, to me, the more you get on your tostada or however you prefer your ceviche to be served. So I think this is decent size right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all thrown in there. Done. I'm going to move on to my cilantro. I already rinsed, cleaned. I personally don't like when you have these thick stems in my cut up cilantro. I just don't care to have thick pieces to chew on. So I just dice this up as well. Cilantro is basically the ending of all the chopping. That's your cue, you're done. Okay. I'm gonna throw away this end because I don't like all that stem. So now that I'm done, I'm gonna just sprinkle it around. Okay, so now that I have everything chopped up in this big bowl, I'm gonna go ahead and stir it up. Actually, I'm gonna have my husband stir it. Can you come over here? And I'm gonna add the cocktail sauce while he's stirring it. This is the cocktail sauce that we like to use. So, okay. So while he's stirring, I'm gonna get this popped in there. Ooh. So you guys, I like to use 2 for the simple fact that I make a big old bowl, a big old batch. You're dropping it.
You thought it was big enough, right?
the last one. Look at all that goodness. Okay guys, this is product. Here is the finished ceviche. Quick and easy to make. What I like to do, I like to put some ceviche on a plate. I put tapatio, lemon juice, and some ceviche with Lay's. Let me tell you, you guys, I promise you, once you try eating it with just Lay's, you will never want your tostada no more. I promise you guys that. It's amazing. But my husband prefers it tostada. So there's the finished product. He's gonna go and hook himself up. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this quick and easy tutorial on how to make ceviche. Hope you guys enjoyed it.